Shindaiwa T262. So I just picked up this unit, a couple weeks ago, and some things that we really like about it is, first of all, let me start off. It's 25, I think, 0.4, 25 and a half cc's, weighs about 12 pounds. Thing's got about 20 ounces of fuel that goes in the tank. Even though it weighs about as much as the 100s, it seems to displace the weight when you're using it a little bit better than the steels. This has actually become the go-to weed eater for the guys. So, we have, several steels over here, and the guys definitely seem to be going with the Shindaiwa. It has the 400 speed feed head on it. Like I said, 20-inch cut is a really big deal. Whenever we're doing large condos and things like that, you're doing a lot of walking, you're doing a lot of weed eating for, sometimes, just hours and hours straight on one property. Having that bigger cut has become, in the last couple of weeks, the reason why it's the go-to weed eater. The guys just absolutely love it. They pick it up over the steels, and some of the steels are pretty new, and they go to this. They like the way the handle feels. They like the grip on it. And this does have, and I know that Echo now owns this, but this is pretty much an Echo 2620, but with, some of the things retained from, Shindaiwa, as far as the handle and some other things. This does have the rubbery, grippy handle instead of the hard plastic one, which I really like. It's pretty sweet. The only thing that we're not fans of is, and after talking to them, we think that maybe it could possibly just be a bad boot. This will get you, it'll bite you. If your elbow goes right here, this thing will light you up pretty good. So, usually you get that on an old, something on like the old steels whenever they would wear down, but this thing is brand new, and it'll light you up pretty good if you touch it. So we're gonna take it back, and they're gonna swap out, and maybe this got a bad boot or something, very rare, I'm sure. My guys, flipped this upside down on a rack and it scratched that off. Anyway, this, you got your air filter housing, everything right here, gas tank. It's a really, really sick weed eater. And I've run it a couple of times. The guys are mainly doing all the weed eating. I love to weed eat though, so I'll jump on it. These are my, Green Touch Industries racks. These are the clamps that go into the rack. But anyways, and I put it on here. So instead of moving this whole thing forward and throwing it back here, there's plenty of room to put it here. The Green Touch racks, it ends up going under right there. So now as far as this over the steels, like I said, the guys actually, two of the main guys, my brother and Josh, and actually Jay, they prefer this over the steel, and I asked them why. They said that it feels lighter. My brother Nadeem said that it actually feels like a small lawnmower in your hands, but without the weight. Probably because of that 20-inch cutting space, and he just said it just seems to be really smooth when cutting it. So it's not really head heavy when you're using it. He said like the steel. So, and I do agree. It lights up pretty well. It runs really strong. Like I said, we run 100s. All the weed eaters are still 100s. We don't use the 110s, but this is definitely, I know they kind of talk and compare this to the 90s, but this is definitely comparable to the steel 100s on the weed eater side. But I definitely recommend it. We're going to pick up a T262 next week, just because we're trying out some different things, and since it's in the Echo family, it's all good. So we're going to pick one up next week, and we're going to try out the Echo because you have a couple different rod options inside of the shaft. So we're going to see what happens, as far as a 2620T compared to this. But I'm loving it. The guys really like it. And, like I said, I'm not going to do like a comparison next to anything. So, and I really don't like to do that too much. But I just will say, as far as running commercial and residential, properties, the guys are really digging this one a lot. So I would definitely recommend grabbing it if you're thinking about it. Because it's pretty sweet, and I got a good deal on it. And I mean, these things are, for the price, I mean, the price is pretty sweet. So anyway, yeah, the price is pretty sweet. The price is only like $339 or $329. I mean, that's pretty cheap for a weed eater, especially one that runs, that runs as good as this. So, popping over 400 bucks for a weed eater is fine. Obviously, I have a whole ton of them. I've always been a Steel fan, and I'm just, like I said, when I bought my Husqvarnas, I was in the market to try something different. So, this Shindaiwa is just something that, I wanted to try out different. I love the fact that I don't mind expanding the options when it comes to equipment. Otherwise I never would have got those Husqvarna blowers, and those things are pretty sick. I prefer them over the 700s. I've demoed a couple 700s. So I think we're probably going to pick up a couple more, either Shindaiwa 262s or the 2620Ts. I know they're different, but I think that we're going to fly with those for a little bit, because the guys really like this, and I'm curious to see what they think about the Echo when we pick it up next week. So I'll update you guys on that, and I just wanted to pop a little review on the Shindaiwa, because it's pretty sweet. We like it. Peace out.